Welcome back to my Final Fantasy Marathon. This is day 3 of playing all of the Final Fantasy games in order from the first one through the current installment. Yesterday I left off after obtaining the magic key, and today I'll be backtracking to pick up all of the treasure chests that were previously locked by that key. So I'm currently on the overworld outside of Elfheim. I'm going to start by going back to the Marsh Cave since I'm already on that continent. Actually, first I'm going to go to the Western Keep. Since I don't need to save my magic for any boss battles, I'm going to go ahead and use that to speed these fights up. Western Keep is just on this continent up here on the northern part. There it is. Check our map. There are 3 chests here to pick up, and they are all in this one room over here that we need to walk around the main room to get to. Weird. Just walk right through that chest, and that one too. Huh, that's never happened before. Very strange. Try walking out and walking back in and see what happens. Never happened before. Alright, so I guess I'll just try quitting. Just I'll save outside here. Don't want to go. Let's return to the title screen. And let's try loading this again and see what happens. Attempt number 3. Nope, still happening. Well, I'm gonna check the interwebs and see what they have to say about that. this is supposed to happen when you've already opened the chest, but I haven't opened these chests. The correct game. It's just very bizarre. Try to completely quit all the way back to the desktop and open it again and see what happens. Worked that time. Alright, well that was weird. That's never happened before. Well, now we have got them open, and we have a monster in a box counter with these wraiths. I guess I kind of did have boss fights to save my magic for. Proving a little bit tougher than I was anticipating. And we get the falchion, which is going to be an upgrade for my warrior. I'll try and see if my thief can equip. Whoops, can equip that. Can. So I'm going to give it to my thief since my warrior already has the broadsword. And the thief can't equip that. So first, before we open another chest, we need to heal everybody up. And quick save. And then do this one. This time we've got mummies to take out. Get some steel gloves. That's an upgrade for our warrior. Just heal up and quick save again. Got mummies again. Having that virus spell makes these battles much easier since they're undead and weak to fire magic. And we get a power staff in this one, which I assume staff with good attack power. That's not very specific. It's probably for our white mage. Not as powerful as the Mithril Hammer. Trying to see if it does anything special. Doesn't seem to. But our Black Mage can use it, so we'll give that to her. Alright. Since those enemies were a little bit tougher than I was anticipating, I think I'm going to go ahead and head back to Elfheim and stop at the inn before we move on to the Marsh Cave. Alright, back in Elfheim, stop at the inn. Rest up. And then we'll head off to the Marsh Cave. It's the same direction as the Western Keep, except for you head south instead of north. I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to my magic since I'm assuming we're probably gonna have some more Poisona fights. Looks like with that power staff, our Black Mage is hitting a little bit harder, so she can contribute a little bit without using her magic. Today is the start of my weekend. Instead of setting an hour time limit, I'm going to go ahead and just play until I get tired of it and log off at that point. And since I forgot to mention it at the top of the video, there will be spoilers for gameplay and story elements throughout the video. So if you haven't played this game before and you want to stay unspoiled, you should probably tune out. Back into the Marsh Cave. And as you might remember, the treasure chests that we want to unlock are on the 3rd floor, which we need to head south in this cavern. In the land of poison enemies. We've got our Poisona spell now. We'll go ahead and use that. Then from the 2nd floor, we just need to head to the southeast corner. battles are going pretty quickly even without using the Black Mage. It's magic. Alright, so we're just gonna head directly south, down to the bottom of this room. Already picked up all the other treasure here. At least I think I have. This has been one of the rooms when I've been working on achievements in the past where I've somehow missed a treasure and had to go back and find it. But I've already unlocked all those achievements now, so it's not a big deal if I miss a treasure. Alright, the little guy marching in place in the rope here. I think that represents where in the original version of the game there was a invisible fight that if you stepped on that square you would always trigger a random encounter with an enemy there. In this version of the game they've made it visible so you can decide whether you want to fight that fight, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it because we might as well get the experience. It's going to be our old friends, the Pisco Demons, or Pisco Demons. Hard hit. Box, and it is another monster in a box counter. This time we have 6 anacondas. Remains to be seen whether they want some if you've not got a ton. Get a silver armlet for winning that fight, which is a piece of armor that our mages should be able to wear, so I'm going to give that to our white mage. Another monster in a box counter. Normally I would have quick saved before I opened that up, but I didn't think about it. It's a good thing since all we got for our trouble was an antidote. That room is empty. There's one more treasure down there on the far right. The last of my cure magic, so I'll have to use antidotes from, well, not antidotes, potions from here on out. I will quick save before opening this one. And the Pisco demons are back. Another relatively easy fight, and we get some cash for our trouble. Let's sort these. Now we just have to make our way back out of the marsh cave. Just gonna head directly north and then all the way to the left side of the screen to get out of here. One thing I do recommend you do if you're trying to get the achievement for opening all of the chests is go open the map and then switch maps, so you can see whether you collected all of the chests before you leave an area. And if you look down at the bottom under where it says Marsh Cave, this is chest 18 of 18. So I have opened all of the chests in the Marsh Cave. And that'll just save you some trouble from having to go back and figure out where you missed the chest if you're trying to get that achievement. Chests are pretty straightforward and easy to find in this particular game. As you get further into the series, there's more of the chests that are in different rooms or in areas that are not directly along your pathway, that if you're not following a guide or going out of your way to try to find them, you may easily miss. Green slime is an enemy that doesn't easily go down to physical attacks, so I'm going to use my Black Mage to hit it with some magic. are getting close to getting out of here. Alright, we're back up on the surface, and I think we're in good enough shape we don't really need to use a tent. Just gonna make our way back to Elfheim to heal up before we move on. We're back in Elfheim, and I'm going to stop at the end to heal everybody up. Then I'm going to run by the item shop, because one of the things I like to do is kind of gradually increase the number of healing items that I'm carrying on me so that I don't have to backtrack as often to purchase items from the towns. Also, I used a few of my potions, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up 15 of these. I think I'm going to pick up a few high potions as well. And it probably wouldn't hurt to have some ethers at this stage. Okay, on Phoenix Downs. Pick up some more antidotes. We're doing eye drops. A few of these just to have them. Pretty soon we're gonna start running into enemies where we might need these gold needles, so I'll go ahead and get one. Remedies are still too expensive at this point. I think we're good to go. Get back on our boat, which we parked up here to the north where that blue dot is. And we're going to return to Cornelia Castle. Which is just a straight shot north from where we're at. Now we can go find these 6 chests. I believe they're in one of those 2 rooms up at the top part of this. Or possibly in both of those rooms. The time has come to use the key to open the doors. The equipment within is sure to help you. saber, mithril knife, and a cottage. The treasure room has been secured with the mystic key. Not anymore. A tent, some iron armor, and some nitro powder, which is a key item that we'll need to advance the story. Let's go ahead and optimize everyone's equipment. Did I already buy iron armor for him or something? No. Guess not. I'm not sure any of that was actually an upgrade for anybody. Yeah, I already bought iron armor for him and nobody else can equip it. So those weren't really much of an upgrade there, but we can at least sell them. Alright, there's one last stop to open up some locked treasures, and that is the Chaos Shrine, the very first dungeon we visited. This shows that we've collected 3 of 13 chests. Only 2 of the chests are accessible right now, so they are in these 2 rooms over on the right-hand side. I'll go ahead and conserve my magic in case their monster and box knights. Nope. Let's go ahead and quick save. And we get the rune blade. Should be an upgrade for somebody. Yep. I'm gonna go back and see if Thief can use it though. And he can, so we'll give it to him. And then we'll give the falchion to my warrior. Save again, just in case. A Werebuster and a gold needle. So the Werebuster, a sword that is effective against beasts. It is an upgrade for him. It's kind of weird how they give you all of those swords close together, all from these Mystic Key boxes, and they essentially just rapidly replace each other, but whatever. I guess it made sense to whoever made the game. So, what I'm looking at. I think there was probably an NPC at some point that gave you some kind of hint where you were supposed to go, but I believe I need to go find the dwarves. Probably gonna stop at Cornelia first, just to visit the inn. Save the game real quick. We'll just head back to the town. This is a nice cheap place to get healed up. It only costs 30 gil as opposed to either 100 or 200 in Nilfheim. Get to the dwarves. I believe I need to get back on my boat and sail it over to the dock up in the northern little dip between this interior sea area. Up this way. Eyeballs are bugging out. Gotta walk to where the dwarves are, and I think they're on the southern part of this strip of land. There's a cave. Wolves are taking off. This is Mount Durgar. There are 10 treasure chests here. Lally ho! With a crystal eye, even the blind can see. I hear that the dark elf Astos nicked the one belonging to Matoya. So I guess if you had wandered over here before doing all the rest of what we already did, that would have given you a hint that you needed to go see Matoya. Get some cash. And some more cash. He just says the same thing as the last guy. How ye gabbed with Ur Smith? In the smithy he is. I don't know why these dwarves have Scottish accents. And there's the smith named Smith or Smythe. If only I could have... I can't do these accents. If only I could have... Hey? If only I could hay some of the legendary metal adamantite, I'd be able to craft such a magical sword. But I don't have any adamantite, so that's something for later. The earth has started to rot. It began in the west, and now, the decay spreads. That's soon. Aye, that's Narek. He's smashing rocks in the back of the cave. Mind that when it comes to defense, a good armlet can be every bit as vital as body armor. You should try one oot sometime. Lally ho. I'm looking for some levistone. It's supposed to be amazing material that makes things float in the air. Another hint. That's Soon. Aye, that's Narek. He's smashing rocks in the back of the cave. Talk to him in a minute. First, I'm gonna run over here and see what's in this room. Some more treasure. Tent. Great helm. Worm killer. More swords. Ether. Potion. Mithril mail. Money. And a cottage. The worm killer replaces that sword. Keep the rune blade on him. Apparently the mithril mail is not better defense than the iron armor, but it has better evasion. So I guess I'll just leave him in what he's got. I don't know. Thinking about it. We did get all 10 chests. Nitro powder. The explosive force in this powder will have my canal open in no time flat. I owe ye, Barnes. So if you come here before you get the nitro powder, he'll say something about not being able to get this canal open. There we go! Now we can blast this rock to smithereens. What are ye standing around for? That powder's set to blue. Unless you plan on going with it, you best get out while you still can. There's a guy on TikTok, Geeky something or other, 24, I don't know. He does a really good job with accents for different characters and things, which I do not do at all. And you can see a little scene of the canal being blown open here so that you can travel further west. He's very proud of himself. I cannot wait to see what lies out there beyond that canal. And then he just leaves. Presumably off to explore. There's nothing else for us to do here in this town with all of the dwarves in the world, I guess. Save the game. And then we gotta walk back to our ship, which we left up here at the dock. Again, I'm not sure if there's a hint somewhere that an NPC gave you other than talking about the earth rotting. Or if you're just supposed to figure, okay, now this canal is open, so I've got to go this way and see what's out there. But there is a destination through this canal to the west that we're going to head to. And there have been times in the past where I wasn't paying attention during that cutscene and I didn't see where the canal opened up and ended up wandering around the map trying to figure out where to go. Back in the day before you could just look it up on the internet. To the new area. I think there's just this one dock over here. There's a town right next to the dock. This is the town of Melmond, and it looks like it's seen better days. There are no chests in Melmond. I believe there is also no item shop, which can be a pain in the butt, because if you run out of items before you complete the dungeons over in this section, then you've got to sail all the way back to Elfheim or Cornelia to restock. But we do have a weapon and armor shop, an inn, and a couple of magic shops to check out. Restore the crystals to grace. So I will check out the magic shops first. If the earth crystal regains its glow, life will return to the earth. The hills and valleys will again be green. Got Churaga, which I definitely want. Life, which I definitely want. Diaga, it has its uses, but I'm going to pass on it for now. And Hilara is another one that it's, you know, the more powerful version of the heal spell, but it's just not that powerful. I may pick it up at some point, but right now I'm gonna skip it. In the Black Magic Shop, there's Firaga, Scourge, Teleport, and Slowra. All of these spells can be useful. Teleport takes you to the previous floor in the dungeon, not all the way back out, so I'm not going to prioritize that. I'll pick up Firaga. Scourge instantly kills all enemies. It's nice when it works, but it doesn't work a lot of the time. So I'm not going to pick that up right now, and since Teleport would take almost all of our money, I'm going to get that later as well. If it would warp us all the way out of the dungeon, I might go ahead and get it, but just to go back to one floor, it's not really worth it at this stage. Let's see what's in the weapon and armor shop. The weapon shop, we just picked up quite a few upgrades to our weapons. But of course, there's already a sword that's better than the ones that we already picked up, at least in terms of attack power. Since we did just pick up some weapon upgrades, I'm going to check out the armor before I spend any money. I don't think these tombs have anything interesting to say. It's gravestone. It's gravestone. There's the uber expensive knight's armor, which obviously we can't afford. Silver armlets, great helm, bronze gloves, and steel gloves. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and spend the money to get a silver armlet. I do have some equipment I can sell also. Give this to my thief. And then we will sell that extra equipment I forgot to sell earlier. 2 sabers, dagger, hammer, a couple of copper armlets, some bronze gloves, some leather gloves. Broadsword, helm, some iron armor, falchion, make sure I didn't miss out on trying to equip that. Okay. Staff. Werebuster I could hang on to in case I came up against a beast that it was more effective against than what we've got, but I don't recall there ever being a use case for the Werebuster. So I think I'm just going to sell it and get the cash. Hang on to the Mistral Mail for now. The Cavern of Earth is to the south of Melman, on a peninsula called Devil's Tail. It used to be the closer you got to that cave, the more fertile the soil. Now it's a barren waste. The earth is decaying, and it's all the doing of the vampire that lives in the Cavern of Earth. Our town is in such rotten shape because he's blocking the flow of the power of Earth. Will you stop him for us? So that's a pretty strong hint that that's the next place we need to go. I think I should go talk to this guy. There is nothing I, the great genius, Dr. Un, do not know. What? You've never heard of me? Inconceivable. Since I can afford it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this longsword. And then I'll give Wormkiller to our thief. Green Blade's supposed to be effective against Spellcaster, so I'll hang on to it just in case, I guess. I don't recall ever switching out to it, but I'll keep it anyway. So they mentioned the Devil's Tail at the south part of the continent, which is probably this triangle-shaped piece of land, so that's going to be our next destination. Doesn't take us very long to get to the next cave. We didn't take much damage getting there, so I'm not going to use a tent. And we are into the Cavern of Earth. There are 24 chests in this cavern. It's a bit more of a maze than what we've seen previously. original game, there was a portion of this that was, I remember people called it the Gill Road or the Golden Road or something along those lines. It was a very popular place to level up and make money because there's an enemy in here that pays considerably more gil than most of the other enemies that you run across at this stage in the game. I don't know why I decided to use my fire skull there. I really didn't need to. Oh well. In this version of the game, it's a little bit different, and also because this difficulty level is lower, there's not as much need to really spend that time grinding your levels up, although you still can if you want to. And of course, still, it's not enemies that will poison you. With an earth elemental. In the original version, I think it's called something else, like a Noma. Not too difficult. And we get a fair amount of cash. Save again. We'll use our little trick to see if there are chests in these other rooms, which there are. I think this section over here where there's no doors, where you don't really need to go, is where the Golden Road is. But I'm gonna skip that and just head for the treasure boxes. Since I have to pass the stairs, I may pop back out and use a tent before I head down there. Which means I can go ahead and use that. Go ahead and pick up both of those treasures, and then we'll come back out and use a tent. Stop using my magic so much because the tents won't fully restore it, and I don't want to burn through all of my tents to get my magic back. I think this guy is the same fight we're gonna run into, and if not all of most of the monster in a box. Potion and some cash. I guess if you really wanted to grind to get that expensive armor, you could do that on the Gold Road here. Golden Alley, or whatever it's called. ahead and do a little healing first. Scum save, that was the term that I couldn't quite remember when I talked about it previously. Someone referred to using the quick save in these games as scum saving. But I have no shame, and I will liberally use the quick save in order to avoid having to backtrack every time I get killed in some random way. And we just got an antidote for winning that fight. Now I've got to backtrack. Taking us back by the stairs. I'm going to head back to the surface and heal up before I go further into this cave. So we can increase our chance of being able to make it all the way through without having to come back out. Use a tent. Restore her magic, but pretty close. And we got all of our HP, so that's probably good enough. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is head to that stairway down, which is right over here. Little bat friends are back, and they don't have anything new to say. This floor is another maze-like dungeon floor. I think there is probably treasure in both of those rooms. So I'm gonna go for the one at the bottom first. So the enemy, the Minotaur. Recognize from Greek mythology. I think it's either Greek or Roman, or maybe both. Speaking of Greek mythology, I just got done seeing the Odyssey today. I thought it was okay. I was expecting a little more from it from the way people were talking about it, but I thought it was an okay movie and kind of a mediocre version of the Odyssey. But if you like big epic battles from back in the Sword and Sandal days, you'll probably enjoy it. Bats in here. Of course, there is a vampire in this cave. Or at least that's what the kid Nolan told us. So another one of the little marching hooded guys. In this case, I don't think you can get in here without defeating them. And it's just another one of these earth elementals. I guess it just gives you a warning that you're gonna fight, whereas in the original version it's just an empty square, and then every time you step on it you have to take out the enemy there. Cash, a leather shield, we already have a better shield than that, and some more cash. And then we can look at this map and see that there are 3 more treasure chests in that room up there. So that will be our next stop. First we gotta take down these cobras. They got the jump on us. Always a little bit annoying when a big group of enemies ambushes because you gotta wait for all of them to attack. But it was nice of them to only attack our warrior, who barely takes any damage from them. We got to jump on these guys this time. Let's see if we can take them down before they get a chance to fight. And we did. They don't seem to do it in this version of the game. In the original version of the game, I think when you walked into those bats, which you do a lot in this cave, they get in the way. They made this annoying sound every time you contacted them. There's nothing to say. Oral sword. They just give you a ton of swords that you barely use in this stage of the game. Let's see if the thief can use that one. Since I don't think you can equip the longsword. Another tent. And some more cash. I believe that's it for this floor, so we will head to the stairs. Here's a new enemy. Bowl. They're a pretty ubiquitous fantasy enemy that appear in a lot of fantasy properties. You might remember that there was a cave troll that stabbed Frodo in Lord of the Rings. And also that Bilbo famously confronted. This is the enemy that drops more gil than a lot of the other enemies, so these are a good guy to farm if you're trying to make some money at this stage in the game. The Hill Gigas. They drop 1,758 gil, which is quite a bit for this part of the game. So you can make some money pretty fast by farming those guys. Alright, on the 3rd floor, and the maze-like structure continues. Let's head over to this door so we can see where the treasures are at. Our old friends, the Poisona in the back. The sleeping bag, which is a rather retro award at this point, since it does even less healing than the tent. get this treasure chest on the right side of the screen. Whole bunch of wolves. Into this riot. I'm a little bit beat up. That's good enough for now. Have that annoying paralyzing attack. Another monster in a box encounter with an earth elemental. Gold needle cures the stone condition, which freezes you in place in battle. That character doesn't die, but it can't do anything else until you cure them of their stone condition. And if your whole party gets stoned, then you're done. So at least one person has to not be stoned. Good rule to live by. There's a treasure in that top middle room, so that's where we'll go next. If you're not going for achievements and you're not open goblin like I am, you can always look up which treasures are in which boxes on the internet. There are a lot of guides out there so that you can just skip the ones you're not interested in if you want. But I always pick them all up because I have to. Challenges I face every time I play one of the Bethesda games like Fallout or Skyrim, where there's so much junk to pick up, but I always pick up a bunch of useless stuff. End up having to drop it somewhere because my character's so weighed down. Actually playing Fallout 76 right now. My character has so much stuff on it that I can't really do anything because I need to get rid of a lot of it. Mostly weapons that I want to try out. I'll get around to it eventually, but it seems like there's a lot of events going on this season, so I just haven't had the opportunity to do it. Useful. There's an empty room up there, so we'll skip that and head to the next room that has a treasure box in it. elemental. And some more cash. Treasure chest down here. This enemy is why I went ahead and picked up a gold needle, because this enemy has attack that can turn you to stone. So this is probably the most dangerous enemy on this floor, just because if enough of them hit you with that stone attack, they can wipe the party. They do sometimes drop gold needles, so replace some of the ones that you use. If you're trying to stay unspoiled on this game, now is a good time to tune out. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up a bit. Save that Kiraga spell in case I need it during the fight. All things in this world, another accent, all things in this world are destined to end in death. The seal cannot be broken, and so the earth shall rot. And then the bat warps into a vampire. You cannot alter destiny. Mere mortals cannot kill the undying. Makes sense, I guess. Another underwhelming boss fight. This chest contains the Star Ruby, which is not immediately obvious what that's good for. Save. Normally I would skip this section right now, but for story purposes, I will head up here. And since we're getting ready to leave here, and I'm going to be healing up, I'll go ahead and use my magic to speed things up. A stone slab is set in the floor. An evil force seems to emanate from within. And that's all that we can do in here right now, so we've got to walk all the way back out. Jelly, I believe, is a new version of the jelly enemy that we encounter in this dungeon. There's really nothing special about it. Switching to fire essence to the undead enemy. original version of this game, unless you spend a lot of time leveling up, this thing can be a real slog. Particularly since you've got to go all the way through it, and then all the way back out. And even more so if you get lost. Which is easy to do without the map. Of her healing magic, so we'll have to use potions until we get out of here. Almost out. Right over here to the stairs. Enough shape that I can make my way back to the town without healing up. Lesser Tiger makes its first appearance. And we're back in Melman. There's no item shop here, so I don't think we used any supplies, but if we did, we wouldn't be able to restock from here. But I can stop at the inn. See how much cash I've got. Got a fair amount of money, so we might want to buy some additional things. We got Kiraga and Life. We'll use Diaga a whole lot. But I'll go ahead and pick up Kiwara. Black Magic Shop. I'm gonna pick up Teleport. Oh, actually we can't learn that yet. Can pick up Slowra. I'll leave that slot open for now. afford the knight's armor right now. I'll go ahead and get it. There was somebody in this town that gave us a hint on where to go. In the cave on the southern tip of the continent lives a man named Sada. He is a wise man who knows much, so there's our hint to go to the southern tip of the continent. Already been down the tail, so they must be the far west side. Somebody was gonna get poisoned eventually with that many spiders. There's a cave. This is the Giant's Cave, and there are 4 treasure chests here. If you're trying to stay unspoiled on this game, this is a good point to tune out. You have Star Ruby? Give me Star Ruby and I let you pass. So we give him the Star Ruby we got. And his back looks weirdly like a face. Crunch, munch. Nothing tastier than rubies. That scene always makes me think of the never-ending story where you encounter the rock figure. Now the giant's not blocking our way, so we can get further into the cave. There's a room down here that presumably has some treasure chests in it. Great axe, some money, and a mithril helm. Great axe is an upgrade for our warrior. He also got the mithril helm. I don't think anyone else can take his stuff. a little bit further south. Cave. This is the Sage's Cave. There are no treasure chests in this cave. This room's just a bunch of pots. Pretty sure there's nothing in them. I don't think there are any items in anything in this game. So you were the ones who defeated the vampire, eh? He was but a servant. The beast corrupting the earth crystal lurks much deeper within the cavern. Here, take the staff with you and use it behind the vampire's chamber. So now we're going to have to go back to the Earth Cave and go further into it. So he just gave us the Earth Rod. Before I do that, I'm going to return to the town of Melmond so that we can visit the inn, and I think I could pick up another silver armlet from my left mage. We just got an X potion. It's a pretty good drop for this stage of the game. X potions, in this one I don't remember if they fully heal you or if they just heal you for more HP than the other potions. But it's still a pretty powerful healing item for this part of the game. And I'll probably try to hang on to it for later in the game rather than right now. Fully restores HP, so cool. So that's definitely a good one to hang on to for the end game if you can. Into Millman. Visit the inn. I'm gonna head back to the armor shop and get another silver circlet. Armlet, I guess it was. And so, copper armlet. And now we're ready to return to the Earth Cave. place to use that sleeping bag. So, go ahead and use that. It's a weird shaped sleeping bag. And that was enough to fully restore us, since we weren't that beat up. We've already picked up these treasures, so we can just head directly to the stairway down to the second floor. Kills me on the feet, just throws all his arms and legs in the air when he gets hit. The treasure from this floor also, so we're going to be heading straight for the stairs. Third floor. Once again, we've already got all the treasure here, so we don't have to go to those areas that just lead to the treasure. We just head directly for the room where the vampire was at. This is the floor where the I want to say pyros, but I don't think that's it. I think those are the ones that appear later. Are they called basilisks? They're not snakes, so that would be kind of weird. But anyway, it is a floor where the enemies that can turn you to stone start appearing. So you just have to be aware of that and be ready with those gold needles. Yeah, I'm starting to find it out now too. Out of the way. cockatrice, so I was way off. They're not too much of a threat because even if you get stoned, the rest of your group can probably take them out. When there's a whole big group of them, that's when you gotta worry. So, on back to that slab. Earth rod, and it reveals some stairs down to the next floor. Looks like there's a door up there, so we'll head that direction. Magic, but since we've already taken 2 out, take a chance on it. Yeah. I think we can still do it. I have to burn 2 gold needles, but at least they did drop 1. I've run out of gold needles in here before. Maybe we'll quick save in case we have any more monster box encounters, as we do. This time we have a new group of enemies, a Hyenodon, 2 of them. An Ogre Mage, which is a new version of the Ogre that can cast spells, and then just an Overshoot. Can be annoying because they do stuff like that. And they woke up too fast. Just a plain old staff. Lower level cure spells instead of just using the higher level ones. I like to try to save the higher level ones for the battles when I can. A lot of times you don't have time to wait for the low level cure spells to work. Two Sphinx, that's a new one for this game. Stairs over there. Room of treasures down there. That looks to be the only room with treasures. So we'll get the treasures first and then head for those stairs. Stairs have a very dramatic looking pattern. Southwest corner. This is probably the worst case scenario with these cockatrices. Now we got 6 of them, so the chance of multiple people getting hit with their stone attack is considerably higher. Sometimes I'll just bust out my magic and get rid of them quickly so I don't have to risk it, but I'll try not to do that here. Helps that they're trying to run away. Some of them anyway. That went okay. Same group again. One person. Unfortunately, that one person had decent attack power. We get a tent for winning that battle. Shield for that one, which will be an upgrade for our warrior. And these guys one more time. To collect on this floor, so we'll be heading for the stairs. this is the bottom floor of this dungeon. If you want to stay unspoiled, this would be a good time to tune out. Looks like the only thing that's here is this room on the left side. And we've collected all the treasure in this dungeon. Who speaks to me? I am he who feeds on the power of Earth. I will not be disturbed by mortal men. I am the Lich, fiend of Earth. And this is kind of the first big boss battle of this game. Attack with him, attack with him. I think I could damage him by casting Cure Magic at him, but I don't know if I want to. I think I will. I'm gonna try out this Fire Aga spell and see how it works. Spider's not doing a whole lot of damage. Fire spell does decent damage. I could use Temper to power them up, but it looks like there's a good chance they're gonna get paralyzed. I think I'll just keep hitting them with Fire Aga. Those slow spells and paralyzing spells. If you try to fight this guy without a black mage, he's really a pain in the butt. Well, I'm out of Fire Aga, so I'm gonna go ahead and try Jiraga against him. Oh, maybe you can't do that. Oh, I guess in this game you can't cast your healing magic at enemies. So doesn't. If I had the Diaga spell, I would go ahead and use that, but I don't, so. Go ahead and heal him. So I guess we will try Lazara. It's not nearly as good as Firaga, but it was good enough. Let's finish them off. So if you've got a black mage in your party, that's a pretty easy fight. If you don't, it can be a real pain in the butt. We whip out our Earth Crystal Shard and reactivate the Earth Crystal. You go interact with it. It tells you this is the altar of Earth from which the power of Earth flows forth. I guess this crystal doesn't restore you like they do in some of the other games. But fortunately, after making us trek through this cave twice, they were kind enough to give us a warp point so we can go ahead and warp on out of here instead of having to walk all the way back out. And then we can also save the game. I'm starting to get a bit sleepy, so I'm going to walk back to Melman to heal up. And then finish up for today. Save game. At this point, nobody's really given me much indication of where I need to go next. But it looks like we can sail over to that continent to the southeast that we haven't been to yet. So that seems like a pretty safe bet on our next destination. So I'm gonna save the game and quit in this location, and then tomorrow I'll pick things up by sailing over to the southeast continent. And I will see you then.